Steve, what are cable operators, your customers, focus on in terms of their investment priorities this year?
So it's a great question and a great timing for that question for us here at Arris. You know, we come into this conference in particular at a period in time where we're finding a huge amount of investment, both in terms of infrastructure and also in terms of connectivity within the customer home. You know, we announced a couple of great wins recently, NBN in Australia with the National Broadband Network and their massive rollout for a deployment, particularly around our E6000 product. Following on to that, we have a number of customers here in Europe that are also doing a similar thing. But right now at this show particularly, we're hearing about a couple of areas. We're hearing about how the connectivity within the home, how Wi-Fi is changing that connectivity within the home and make it a truly connected home, something that the industry has been striving for many years. I think the other thing we're hearing, another theme really, is around the ease of use of these new services that are coming into play. You know, we've already heard today at the conference from over-the-top players, we've heard from cable operators, we've heard from even a satellite operator, and even one of the content owners. We're hearing about how we need to come together as an industry and make this intuitive for our customers to find content, use that content and take that content and consume it where they want to watch it, when they want to watch it, and whatever device they want to watch on it. So across all of those different scopes of our industry, we're hearing the one common theme, which is how do we solve the issue for the consumer? How do we make it intuitive for the consumer? So I think there are two areas that we're going to find a lot of focus on during the course of the next few days in this particular conference.
Cornel, DOCSIS 3.1 is a big theme at the moment. How big a game changer for cable is that, and how do you see it being deployed this year?
Yeah, DOCSIS 3.1 is a fundamental building block for the industry that will allow cable to be competitive over the next 10 years and beyond. DOCSIS 3.0 has allowed the industry to go to hundreds of megabits type bandwidth and even to 1 gigabit bandwidth is realizable with DOCSIS 3.0, but DOCSIS 3.1 is really going to help cable go to the next level and compete with fiber well into the 2020 decade. In terms of deployments, right now there's a lot of interop activity. It's really early stage, and I think the products are clearly being built. We're in this engineering stage at this point. I see a lot of trials that will start happening over the next couple of months and in the second half of 2015. I think starting in 2016 is where you will see the massive deployment of DOCSIS 3.1, and it won't be so massive in the beginning. It will start, let's say, slowly and will grow into 2017 and beyond.
People are also talking about some related investments, for example, upgrading networks to 1.2 gigahertz and deploying CCAP-based head-end infrastructure. How do you see that evolving this year? What progress is being made there, and how important is that? Yeah,
CCAP has been already deployed and it has won over the market, I would say, clearly. The concept of a CCAP platform made a lot of sense, makes a lot of sense, and enables operators to continue growing their services in a very competitive marketplace. So CCAP has been adopted already. We see most operators over the last year have standardized their purchasing onto a CCAP platform, and the E6000 is literally flying off the shelves. In terms of the upgrade to 1.2 gigahertz, this is going to require a little bit more time. We're obviously talking about the access network, and the great benefit of the HFC network and of cable networks is that this upgrade can be targeted. It can be driven by subscriber demand, and it can be driven by competition. So cable operators have the option to go out and target the upgrade to 1.2 gigahertz where it's needed. Therefore, realizing a lot of efficiency in terms of their capex spend. When will it start happening? Again, even in this situation where we're in an engineering stage at this point. We're doing a lot of analysis together with our customers to look at what is needed in order to deliver 1.2 gigahertz spectrum into the networks. And I see this again in the second half of this year and into 2016 and 17, operators will really start to introduce 1.2 gigahertz products into their networks, even though the capability end-to-end to deliver 1.2 gigahertz may take a while. Clearly, 1.2 gigahertz is another building block that goes together with DOCSIS 3.1. Therefore, the real need for it will arrive somewhere in the next 3-4 years as people need to go beyond the 1 gigabit per second type speeds.
And on the consumer premises side, I mean, one of the big talking points recently has been the RDK. Can you tell me what you think is important about the RDK, what it can achieve, and how you see adoption taking off?
Yeah, RDK is one of the few software platforms that will survive over the long term in front of the subscriber. What RDK helps operators achieve is it gives them this flexibility to evolve their user experience, given all the new services that are coming online, the evolution when this IoT notion will become reality, the ability to integrate all of these new services into their software platform, into their service delivery platform. That is something that RDK enables. And so I would say it's a fundamental building block again for the operators over the next couple of years. If operators want to be able to deliver this flexibility to their subscribers, the ability to integrate new services fast, with a very fast upgrade cycle of introducing new features every couple of weeks and things like that, this cannot be realized with the legacy platforms. So RDK is a very important platform. On the other hand, it's complex and it requires a commitment from the operator and a level of investment as well that not operators are able or will be able to sustain. So we are working to deliver, for example, pre-packaged RDK solutions as much as we can to operators, so that we ease the pain of adopting RDK for our customers.
Yeah. Virtualization has been a big buzzword for some time. What are the benefits of virtualizing the delivery of services and head-end infrastructure, and what sort of challenges need to be overcome before that vision can be realized?
Well, I think it's a process, right? The vision has been realized for some services. Network DVR is an example of a service that is quickly going to the cloud. A lot of our customers are adopting network DVR as their main DVR service, and the reason is really driven by the subscribers. People want to consume content wherever they are. They want, and it's not just limited to content. They want to have access to any service from the operator, regardless of their location, whether they're at home, whether they're at work, whether they're on the move, whether they're traveling. They want to be able to access their content, and that's something that virtualization and the migration to cloud-based services is really enabling. And again, if we talk about the explosion of devices that will happen over the next few years, if we talk about the need to interact with all these devices from an operator's perspective, to integrate those devices into their overall service offering, that is one critical factor that will drive the adoption of virtualization technologies. In terms of barriers that need to be overcome, obviously there is a lot of legacy out there, and some of the legacy will require the presence of traditional type services for a long time. Just to give an example, the migration of video to IPTV there's a bit of a break in the adoption of IP video over cable because of the millions of legacy set-top boxes out there. Cable would be moving to IP delivered video a lot faster if it weren't for these millions of set-top boxes that still require DVB-C spectrum to be present on the network for the foreseeable future.
Right. Now, talking about cloud-based delivery brings us to OTT, and how well placed generally do you think cable operators are to match or exceed the user functionality that can be offered by OTT services?
It really depends on the operator. The operators that are making the choices today to go for a platform, a software platform, that gives them the flexibility to evolve very quickly and to introduce new services very quickly and to allow subscribers to get a great user experience, a mobile user experience that's always fresh, and a personal user experience to get my services whatever I want them. Those operators will be able to compete. I think clearly the leading operators in Europe, you can see them making the right choices today, choosing RDK or choosing other platforms that can offer this level of flexibility. I believe the discussion about the smaller operators and the level of investment that's required to sustain this investment in the platforms, that's a different discussion, and I think that's where operators are maybe a little bit slower in adopting these new flexible software centric approaches. So it's really I would say a mixed situation. If you look at the leading guys, they are clearly out there and adopting the right platforms for the future, whereas the smaller operators are sometimes struggling to make these choices that require an investment commitment as well.